Jai Gurudev, everyone, and welcome to this another week of Yoga Vasishta from 28th of January till 2nd of February. It's getting a little bit difficult and hard to understand, isn't it? So let's see. Let's see how we can understand it in a better practical way that we can see it as an experience in our life. Okay. So if you remember the last time after the self effort, we discussed about the self effort. Your Vasishta said that there are four gatekeepers which are very important to pass through for the liberation. Now the gatekeepers means they are guarding the gate and they will not let you go in. So basically you have to satisfy one of them or you have to satisfy all four of them. All right, otherwise because they will ask you question, why are you going you inside? Do you have a permission? You will say, no, I don't have a permission. And I have a permission. Okay, then prove how come you have a permission. So means basically this gatekeeper has got something for you to do in your life through your self-effort in order to get the permission to go inside into the house of liberation, right? So the first one amongst that was the self-control. Now what is the self-control? He has given lots of examples here. What is self-control? Where do you need a self-control? Now there is something inside you which is a problematic thing or which is a not so good thing and you have to work on that. You know, this part of me needs some work, and then there is other part which doesn't need work, where you got compassion, whether you got selfless effort for others, whether you got that peaceful state, whether you got that belongingness, whether you got all the good qualities are there in the other side. The one side which you have to work on is generally you will see there are some negative qualities that you got. You get upset with something, you get angry with something, you get greedy about something, you get jealous about something, you get sad about something, you hurt someone with intention, without intention. All those things are sorry, all those things are there as a part of where you have to work on yourself. Now why we have to work on these things and why we don't have to work on the other things, why it is been divided as a good and bad, understand that as well. Because when you go through a negative emotion, it drags your energy, it gives you that sense of distortion or sense of what I can say, you can just that feeling of brokenness inside. You don't feel oneness with yourself, you feel like you are falling apart, you feel something is missing, you contract, your consciousness contract, you feel become isolated, you actually don't feel like enjoying the moment the way it is, and your mind keeps struggling with the thoughts and all that. So that's why all those emotions when you go through, they have been considered as a negative emotions. Now where do you need a self-control? You need a self-control. First thing, you need to observe what are the negative emotions you have, where you have to work. First thing, you need to write down systematically, okay fine, I have to work on A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, these things. Out of that 10 things, you will realize there are 3 or 4 which are intense. The others are just getting carried away because of those 3 or 4. Even out of that 3 or 4, you will see only 1 or 2 are there which need some work. Most of these other things are just getting carried away because that one or thing is needs work. And once you concentrate and pinpoint and come to that particular one thing or two thing which is needing work, then next time when that thing is happen, then you realize, you understand, and you go back and you discriminate and see everything as why it's happened and how you could have controlled it. And next time when it's happening, you will realize that yes, I'm going through that. And after that the step will come when you will start implementing your self effort to stop it when it's before it's happening. Right now you need to put the self control to observe that, oh, it's been happened, then it's happening, and then it's going to happen. Now I have to control this thing, I cannot open my mouth, I cannot say this thing, I cannot think about that thing, otherwise it will put me into that situation. And that's where the self control comes in, if that's making sense, and that is the biggest of what you can say, austerity that you can do for yourself, penance that you can do for yourself. All he has written in one of the paragraph, the third paragraph, the eternal is not attained by rites and rituals or by pilgrimage nor by wealth, it is to be attained only by conquer one's mind, because between you and between the truth there is only one thing, that is your conceptual mind. The mind with all the concepts of right and wrong in this world, the mind with all the concepts about I should do this, I should not do this, people should do this, people should not do this. And that's what is stopping you to see the truth within yourself. And you will not find the truth anywhere else apart from inside you. That's it. Take it for granted, write it down, and this is the ultimate. That's why every master, every guru, every scripture you have read, everybody had said that you have to go within yourself. Of course, because to control your mind and to start the self-control, many of them has said the one thing again and again, I am the only source, I am the only way, you have to surrender yourself to me, you have to give everything to me, because they want you to focus there. Once the focus is there and once the devotion is there, ultimately the devotion to which the devoted and the devotee both dissolves into that thing and becomes one. If you don't want to follow that path, then this is the other path. Just stay with yourself and just observe what are the obstacles that is not allowing you to go deep within yourself. This personality that has come up as you, what is that is not letting that personality to dissolve into the infinite self? Okay, so that's where the self-control comes. Now inquiry means of course just inquiring into what is right, what is not right, what is real, what is not real, what is permanent, what is not permanent. Everything in this world which is bound by the time is not permanent. If you have a concept of God in your head that is bound by the time, your God is born on one day and is going to not there after one day, that is not the real concept. You are missing something. Then ask yourself a question, from where this concept has come? What is the base of this concept? What is the base of this reality? Everything is time bound. Our existence, physical existence is time bound. Every construction in this world is time bound. This earth is time bound. This cosmos is time bound. Everything, this thing is very much time bound. Whether it will be in billions of years or whatever it is, but one day it's going to go, then everything is going to go, then everything is not real. But then from where it is going to go, and from where it came, in which it sustained, and it's where it is going to go, those things will open some other different horizons inside our own consciousness. So that's what is the inquiry about. Inquiry alone is the best remedy for the long-lasting illness known as samsara. Samsara means this world. Samsara is the Sanskrit word useful for the world. Emotional world, material world, physical world. Everything that comes in mental world, whatever you have created is all comes under samsara. Not just the physical world you can see, but the mental world you have created inside you, your mental concepts, your emotional concepts. Everything comes under the samsara. And then he talks a little bit about the eye of spiritual inquiry does not lose its sight even for the midst of the activities. Midst of the activities means, whatever you are doing, you should know that something deep inside is witnessing that thing. If it is difficult to understand, just hold on for some time. Next page, I'm going to explain that how you can do that. However, next paragraph, in the same paragraph, he said the inquiry should be, who am I? It's very funny actually. Yesterday only when I was traveling from Sydney, I was listening to one of the Gurudev's talk about ancient love. And in that he said the same thing. You should ask the same question, who am I, who am I, who am I? And whatever the answer comes, reject that. If your answer is coming, that means there is something to whom the answer is coming. That means you have missed the plot. Reject it, reject it, reject it. Till the time you keep rejecting it, till the time the real knowledge dawns in you. And the real knowledge, when it dawns, you will become only silent. Silence is the only language that is being spoken deep inside that state. Know this very well. So knowledge of truth arises from such inquiry, and such knowledge, there follows the tranquility in oneself, and then arises the supreme peace, that passeth understanding and ending of all the sorrows. Of course, means once you realize once you realize that there is something deep inside you which is not touched, which is always there, then of course you, whatever is changing and around you, inside you, within you, will definitely bring the sorrow to you, will diminish, Then he talks about the contentment. Contentment is a gatekeeper to liberation and to renounce all craving for what is not obtained unsought, and to be satisfied with what comes unsought. So whatever you have unsought, whatever you want to achieve, you want to seek, and we are not got that you should let it go. Okay, so if you are thinking, okay, I'm seeking something, I want something, and that is going to give me the pleasure, that is going to give me the satisfaction, then you should stop doing that. That is not contentment. Just stay in this state right now where you are, and whatever the way you are listening to this, and just tell yourself, at this moment I do not want anything. And if you can if you can get a glimpse of that state inside you, that is what is a contented state. At this moment I do not want anything, I have everything, and you just be there for a second, that's it. And then that is the state of contentment, and you should be satisfied that comes to you unsought. So once you are in that state, if something according to you which is unpleasant happens next minute, you should be happy with that. That's okay, I didn't ask for it, but it's coming in my way, so let me just go through that. Because if you remember in the chapter we discussed in self-effort, whatever is happening right now in your life is your karma. It is happening because past activities, whatever you have done, it's the result of that. And when that karma is giving its fruit, if you reject, if you act little bit out of the way, not in the alignment with the scriptures, then you are creating other karma. But the self-effort comes in that where you are just going through that peacefully. Same, the contentment is the state which will help you to go through that helpfulness easily, without putting any other efforts into that particular thing, and making it more worst. We keep making our life more and more worst by acting into that thing without letting, because we have got lots of concept about right and wrong inside us, and that is what is actually making and guiding our life every time. Satsanga is a company of the wise, holy, enlightened person. Now, why company of the wise, holy, enlightened person is important? What is that ultimately you are looking for is the knowledge. And that is the last actually bondage that we all will go through. That yes, I know it, and now what should I do? And once you get to know all those things, once you know, and means the difference between the enlightened person and you is nothing but that he knows or she knows and you do not know. And once you know, you also become enlightened, right? So when you know, the people who know, they have got a particular way of living their life with that knowledge that they have experienced, with that ultimate knowledge inside them that they have experienced and experiencing every minute. So they are actually what's the right word, projecting that knowledge through their behavior during the whole day when they are acting and living in this world. So when you come in the contact with such a person, and when you live with them, and when you spend some time with them, half a day, 1 day, full day, or just watch them doing the things, then it just enlightens you, because it is the knowledge in the physical form presented in front of you in the form of Guru. And you are watching it because your eyes cannot fathom which is not physical. If that knowledge is there without the physical form, which is there already, but you cannot see that. But when it's in physical form, in the form of that person, then you can easily see how they are behaving, how they are going through all those things, how the things are not troubling you, how being in the midst of all those things, they have been able to keep themselves completely untouched with all those things. So this is what the learning happens. That's why satsanga is a very important thing. Satsanga is indeed supreme to all the other forms of religious practices than charity, austerity, pilgrimage, and the performance of religious rites. So just being in the company of these holy men, and I tell you, guaranteed your buttons get pushed, because all the unexpected things happens there. You never expect, because you got a small mind, small intellect, you got your own understanding, and you want that person to behave in that particular way. but it's the embodiment of the whole knowledge. It will behave according to the whatever the way it should be, the event want it to be, and that is not according to your understanding. So it will push your buttons, and that's where you go through that thing as austerity, and you become more and more pure and more concept free. Okay, so then he has given about the little summary about all those things, and then this is very important. This Gurudev also has said many times that even a young boy's word are to be accepted if they are the words of wisdom. Else reject it as a straw, even it is uttered by the Brahma, the creator. We do exactly opposite in our life. We keep giving importance to the unwise words so much in your life. What he said, what she said, what he's doing, what she's doing. Social media is full of all these things. So he's saying basically reject all those things because that's not wise. Even it is come out from the creator, the whole creator's mouth. Brahma is a creator. If the creator himself is saying something which is not truth, then you reject it. And if it is a small young boy whom you will not believe that he or she knows that thing, if that boy also saying something which is a wise and which is a truth, then accept it. Then he talks about the scriptures here on this page, 31st of January, page 31, that scripture should be, you should continue studying the scriptures and all those things. Like the satsanga, the holy man, why their company is important, understand why the scripture is important. What exactly is the scripture? Scripture is nothing but a notes written by the person who has experienced the ultimate truth, right? They experience it in their life, and then they want to put it in the words, and then they put it in the words, they bind it together, and that became a scripture. In any religion you go, the words come out of the mouth of God or the mouth of enlightened person are called as the scriptures, and they are studied and they are followed religiously because that holds the ultimate truth. They are given the ways to find the truth. They are given how the truth can be seen, how the truth can be experienced, how the truth can be understood. And that is what is the scriptures. That's why the study of the scriptures is very important on this page, he has said, because it is the study of the scriptures which helps you to realize the truth. And you should keep doing that until the truth is realized. That's it. Direct experience alone is the basic of the truth, until and unless you will get the direct experience. Once you get the direct experience, I tell you, even the scriptures also looks like normal books. For example, till the time you will eat vanilla ice cream, you have not tasted the vanilla ice cream, you will read hundreds and hundreds of books on vanilla ice cream. You will talk to 1,000 people about vanilla ice cream. But ask yourself, the moment you will take 1 spoon of vanilla ice cream, what is the importance of those books in your life? Nothing. It's useless. So the same way, the moment that truth is experienced inside you, just for a fraction of a second, just for 1 second, or just for some time, that's it. The job is done. After that, every scripture you see, whether this one or Ashtavakra Gita or Adi Shankaracharya's Drishta Viveka or anything, or Das Bodh or Amruta, no, any of the scriptures that has talked about non-duality and talked about truth and all that will not have any meaning to you, because you know it, ultimately you got it. So the direct experience of truth is the basic of all the truths of the books. Now understand this. He said, no, I shall not declare you the creation and its secret. Okay. For it is only as long as one invests in the perceived object with reality that the bondage lasts. Till the time you are interested and you are investigating into the objects that you are perceiving, your bondage lasts. The moment you realize that these objects perceived are not real, your bondage will finish. Once the notion goes, so goes the bondage. Here in the creation, which is created, grows and decays, and everything that is created, that will got created, it will grow, it will decay, and it will go. That is very simple thing that we see in everyday our life also, whether it's a human body, whether it's animals, whether it's a planet, whether it's a trees, everything is coming up, staying for some time, going down into the destruction, Now understand this thing. Where does the notion of the bondage is? Where are you bound with the whole world? Are you bound with that object, or are you bound in your mind? Think about it. You like something, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, whether it's a tablet or a person, whether it's a partner, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, son, daughter, grandchildren, you have liking towards them. Where is that liking? In them, in the object, or inside you? If you can come to the conclusion it is inside you, then you are correct. Because the objects for everybody is different. Object for you, for every feeling is different. But the feelings are inside. The bondage is inside. The bondage is where all that attachment is inside you. Tomorrow, for some reason, your objects will change. And has it not changed in your life? When you're 20 years back, you were liking something else. 10 years back, you like something else. Now you like something else. So where is the bondage? The bondage isn't in changing objects around you, or it is inside you. It is inside us. So where needs to the work done? Inside us. What we do? We keep changing the objects. We keep changing the situations. We keep changing the people. But that will not work, because once you inside, you do something and you say, I don't want anything, that's it. The objects will keep coming and going in your life. Who cares? You will still be happy without them, with them. Now, this is very important, the next part. During the cosmic dissolution, the entire objective creation is resolved into the infinite being, which is variously designated as Atma, Brahman, Truth, etc. by the wise to facilitate the communication and dialogue. This same infinite self conceives within itself the duality of oneself and the other, and hence the mind arises. Now you must be thinking, you are here sitting reading this book and then imagining that the whole creation is dissolved into nothingness and everything is coming out, and then there is something nothingness, and in that nothingness there is a duality and all that blah 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 blah, all that thing. That's not the right way of understanding. It is happening every day with you, me, and everybody. The whole creation gets dissolved into the infinite being when you are fast asleep at night. Ask yourself, when you are fast asleep, is there existence of this world in your memory? No. Is there a memory? No. Is there you? No. There is nothing. You don't remember anything. You don't have any knowledge of anything. You don't have any knowledge of any existence. So every night in your deep sleep, you dissolve into that. When you come out of the deep sleep, this is the very important thing. Understand it clearly. You have to just put a strong thought in your mind before you go to sleep, that tomorrow morning when I'm waking up, I want to be aware of myself. You have to just keep feeding this thought. It will take some time, but believe me, it works, and it has worked with me definitely. That's why I'm telling you. When you start getting up in the morning, you realize that you are first become aware of that consciousness, which is you are, for a fraction of a second. And then you become aware of that mind which is there, which is working. Then you become aware of the body. Then you become aware of slowly about the environment. And that is why many times you must have seen yourself or others waking up and saying, what's the time? Where am I? How long did I sleep? You don't remember, because you're coming out of that infinite self into that physical existence of yours. It is happening every night. Now, one more thing I'm going to say to you. Become aware of your body. Now you became aware of your body. What was happening with the body when you were not aware of it? It was still there, but you were not there. You are not aware of your body, you go back. When you're not aware of your mind, in between your two thoughts, you go back. You are always retrieving back into that infinite being, whether you are aware of it or you are not aware of it. Only thing is that your projection is always outside. You're always looking for the world. You're always looking for something outside. You're seeking outside. That force is always going outside. That energy is always wasted in going outside. That's why you don't realize that. You turn everything around. Turn everything around. Take the attention there. Let my mind dissolve into that. Let my body dissolve into that. Let me just be myself in that deep sleep state right now, via whatever way I can. In last chapter, I did say deep sleep state, or let me consider I am a statue. I'm not emotionless. I don't have any feelings. I don't have anything. Everything is just happening around me. I'm just stable inside. Or I'm dead. Any of these things you consider, you will start going back to that state. And the biggest obstacle there is your own consciousness. It is pure. It is very nice, but it is still separate from the self. So understand how you're coming back. You can go back and listen to this again, how you go dissolve into, and the same process happens when you go to the sleep. First you are aware of your surroundings, then your body comes back, your awareness of your body comes, for some time that will be there. Then you go into the thought phase, your mind will start working, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, zoop, lights off. You will go into that deep sleep. Isn't it? And you come back in the same way. So that is what exactly he means with this, nothing else, that this is what, and once you understand that clearly, your swapna nidra jnana, your knowledge about sleep and dream, how it happens. And then the dream comes. What is dreams? You are existing on the mental level. That's why many of the places it says there is no difference between this world and the dream. Because in your dream, you are real. In your dream, you as a dream object and your dream world is real for you. The same one right now. You are in the physical form and this is world real to you. But in both the places, there is no existence of both the things, and both are considered as the same, because both dissolves into that beingness. Both dissolves into that consciousness, and the consciousness ultimately dissolves into the infinite self at night when you go to sleep. This is the same thing happened in the beginning of Ashtavakra Gita. If you remember the story of the Ashtavakra Gita, when Janaka dreams about that and he thinks he is a poor person, he is begging for the food, and the piece of the bread that he's received also has been gone. And he says, oh, and he shouts like that, or something. And then he wakes up and then asks the people around him, and then the Ashtavakra comes and he says, that is my problem now. What is real? This is real, or that dream was real? And the first sentence Ashtavakra says is, both is not real, Janaka. The dream is also not real and this is also not real. So that exactly we discuss right now. When you come out of the consciousness in your infinite being into the conscious level and start dreaming on the level of the mind, you do not know you are A, B, C or X, Y, Z person. You dream that you are a lion, you are a tiger, you are a man, you are a woman, you are rich, you are poor, everything and anything that is possible, which you have the desires or concepts, and that feels real. And when that feels real, you feel like, yes, I am there. I have been chased by the tiger and I was scared. I fell into the water and I felt that wetness of the water. The same thing happens. You come up and then you start behaving in this world, and this world is also same. Nothing is real here because everything is time bound, everything is finishing, everything is coming out of that consciousness, going into that consciousness again and again, again and again, again and again. But it's happening in just such a fast way and just happening in such a continuous way that we think it as a reality. We think as the ultimate reality of this physical existence is this. That's where the non-duality starts. That's where how you got connected from the duality to non-duality. This is how it happens. That you experience that I am that non-dual state, and how I am projecting myself, how I am projecting my world, how I am projecting my physical body, and how the physical body, through the physical body, how the karmas are happening, how the actions are happening, how I am creating my world, and how I am suffering through that, how I am going through that, happy or not happy. That's how everybody is creating their own world. And then the common thing that is happening on this earth, because we are living together, we call it as a combined world, combined creation. Okay, then even as the mirage appears to be very real river of water, this creation appears to be entirely real. And as long as one clings to the notion of the reality of you and I, it starts with you, means, I am existing, that's why you are existing. If I'm not existing, you are not existing. So when that reality, notion of reality is there, there is no liberation. Not by merely or verbally denying such notion of existence is to be obliterated. On the contrary, such denial itself becomes a further distraction. So merely on the verbal level and on the verbally, yeah, on a verbal level you can't just deny. You will see many people saying that, oh, you are not the body, you are not the body. That will not work, and you might have tried that with yourself. Try this one, this will work. See how you are coming out of the good deep sleep, how you are going into the deep sleep. Even during the whole day, what is happening? Why you are not aware of the everything that is happening in 24 hours? Where are you going in between your memories? Think about last 4 hours, what you did. You will not talk about next 4 hours about last 4 hours, because you are missing the things in between. Why you are missing the things in between? Because you are dissolving. You are not aware of that, but you are happening. It's happening every moment, every moment, every moment, every moment. And you are coming back. You are going back. You are coming back. You are going back, coming back. But it is very clear and very crystal clear understanding when you go into the deep sleep and come out of the deep sleep. First, focus on that. Okay, then if the creation is in fact real, then there is no possibility of its cessation, for it is an immutable law that the unreal has not real existence and the real does not cease. So that's what he says, and he challenges now. If the creation is real, then why are we saying it's going to dissolve? Why the earth has a limit? Like I said before, why everything is time bound? Everything is time bound means definitely it's not real. So he's saying the same thing. So austerity, meditation, and such other practices are therefore not cause its cessation nor enlightenment, as long as the notion of the creation lasts. Even the contemplation in which there is no movement of the thought is not possible. Till the time there is a notion, you go into the samadhi also, nothing, enlightenment is not possible into that, because there is because you see, because you are considering yourself separate and you are thinking that, oh, I want to know this. Till the time their separation is there, you will not get it. That's why every enlightened master or every guru at one point starts saying, I am that, I am that. You have to come to me. I am the source, I am the master, I am the doorway, I am the thing. Why they say all those things? I am that. Even Krishna also says to Arjuna, I am the only possibility on this earth. Every being is part of me, and every being is me, and I am in them. Jesus said the same thing. You are the doorway to my Father, because you have to go through me, because they have realized the truth. And once you realize the truth, it is so strongly prominent that you will not say that you are separate from that. Right now we are thinking ourselves separate and we want to know that. That's why there is again some problem. That's why you cannot have these notions also. You have to let go of these notions. That is the only thing which is existing. I am a part of that which is projecting through this body and mind, and I am dissolving into that. Now I don't have the experience of that, so I'm just working towards that experience. All those things will change your attitude and your understanding towards that. Now in this creation, then he talks about even the essence exists in all the things as the oil exists in all those things. It's the same consciousness everywhere. Then the last page, 2nd of February, in the creator there is neither seer nor an object of perception. Now if everything is one, then who is watching whom? Where is the object of perception and where is the person, subject who is watching that? Everything dissolves, because everything is just coming out of oneness and everything is dissolving into oneness. So this must be very clear to you now. And then in the creator, he's used the word infinite being, creator, what is that? Supreme consciousness into this book. Everything means same. Individual consciousness means separate, from which your existence as an individual person has started. on which has built your mind with concepts, on which you have built your body with your physical form, and then you have created your own world. So the creator, there is no memory of the past. Since we had no previous karma, since he had no previous karma, he does not even have the physical body. Now when you go into the deep sleep and you become the creator into the deep sleep, you are unconscious, but you become that. Tell me what body form you have? Nothing, because you don't have any karma that time. So you don't have any actions, you don't remember your past, you don't remember your future, you are not remember your present also, because there is nothing like a present moment also. It is just the existence on its own. We have created in our mind that, oh, there is a thing that is happening, we will call it as a past, happening right now, we will call it as a present, and now next thing we will call it as a future. But everything is just happening at this stage. And it was happening, it will happening, and it is happening, and it will happen. So there is no past, future, there is no actions, there is no karma, there is no physical body. Mortal beings have two bodies, and as it were, one physical and the other spiritual. But the unborn creator has only one body, spiritual, since the cause that gives rise to the physical body does not exist. So he is just in this form of pure spirit, where there is no action or there is no memory of action there. So there is no physical body for that. He is not created, but he is the creator of all beings. Now again, think about that. In your deep sleep, is your deep sleep, you create your deep sleep, or everything has been created out of the deep sleep? Think. I will not give you the answer for that. Surely the created is of the same substance as that which it was created. So what is been created is of the same substance from which it has been created. He has given the example of the bracelet and all the gold ornaments which are created from the gold. So they are not separate from the gold. You cannot say this is a bracelet. It is ultimately gold. Now if you are coming out of that infinite being, that ultimate state, into the form of consciousness, into the form of mental mind, into the form of physical state, then are you separate from that? That's what the question he asked. And then he said, how can it will be separate from the what is created from the creator? But as a physical form, you hold on to your physical form and try to create the creator. Can you create the creator? Think. Then he says, a throbbing arose in the creator whose thought has spread out as an universe. That throbbing itself, that first act of separateness happens, that is the individual consciousness which can refer as. Again, it is not separate. That's why again in the scriptures there is a example given of the wave and the ocean. The wave is separate from the ocean when it's physically you look at it, but it is still a part of the ocean. It is just come as a projection of a wave. That's why it looks as a separate. The same way, it just come as a projection of that unmanifested creator, as a throbbing arose. He says as a throbbing arose. That means just there is just a separateness arose. Now that separateness is purest form of the space. Even the space came out of that, after the psychological space. So the creator is also of dual nature, consciousness and a thought. Consciousness is pure and thought is subject to confusion. Exactly, that's what I was saying, that first throbbing thing happened as a consciousness. What happens in our meditations, we reach to that stage. We reach to that stage and we realize that, oh, that's it. But that is not it. That, I will say from there the journey begins actually. You reach there, you overpass your mind, you overpass your body, you reach to that state, you become one with your own consciousness. Now ask a question, how do you know you have become one with the consciousness? What is that witnessing that is telling you that you become one with your own consciousness? Think. Consciousness is pure and thought is subject to the confusion. So of course, consciousness is pure, that is a form of consciousness we discuss, and thought is our mental conceptual mind where actions happen, Now, though all the forms are forms are of nature of the pure intelligence on account of self forgetfulness of this and thought of the physical form, they freeze into the physical form. Even the goblin, though formless, are seen to have the forms on the account of perceivers. He has given the same thing, means you forget about you being what you are. That's why you got into the physical form. You got engaged into the physical forms and this samsara. Then the creator is a mind is pure intelligence, and mind or pure intelligence is his body. Thought is inherent in the mind, and the object of perception is inherent in the perceiver. Who has ever discovered the distinction between the two? Means, in the creator, all these things are already there. In the deep sleep state, your mind is also there, your physical form is also there, your consciousness is also there. It is not separate from that. That is why it has got the potential to project all those things and be all those things. And who has ever discovered the distinction between these two? And no one has ever able to discover the distinction between two. You just realize that, okay, fine, you just keep understanding and you just keep taking a step back and keep going back. That is all you can do, and you can just understand and reach and experience the experiencer who is experiencing all those things. That is the only work left for you, for which you need self-effort, for which you need these 4 gatekeepers, for the self-control, contentment, satsanga and inquiry, to reach to that stage. That's it. To understand what is that is projected and what is from where it's projected. So the projection is not me. The projector is from where it's getting projected. I have to go back to that source. Listen again and again, okay, if it is confusing. Okay, and then from 3rd of February, again another interesting thing starts. So I hope this clears a little bit of doubts of yours. However, your questions, your understanding, everything is most welcome. Okay, I will again give my best shot to make it more clear to you. But remember, whatever is written in the scripture and even in this book is, until and unless you will start seeing this as your everyday practical reality, it will not make sense. So that's what we did today. So keep an aim and keep working on how you can experience going into the deep sleep and coming out of the deep sleep. That is your next step. Jai Gurudev.